Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your man, the Grass Ninja. Welcome to the channel. Boruto chapter 75. Holy crap, bro. This chapter is amazing. It's a game changer. This chapter is doing a lot of things, bro. Because, like, not only do we have the ascension of the Otsutsuki god, bro, but Boruto's manga right now has just ascended to a whole new level. We're in the domain of the gods now, bro. Boruto chapter 75. We got some crazy ass highlights coming out of this chapter, bro. We got the Otsutsuki god is revealed, bro. Shinjutsu is a thing that we have to start talking about now. AMADOS master plan is revealed in this chapter. We got all sorts of new Otsutsuki connections. Otsutsuki experimentation, bro, I called that shit. Visions from the future and so much other crap going down. We're gonna break it all down here in this video. So without any further ado, let's get into the Boruto chapter 75 breakdown, the domain of the gods. Okay, holy shit. Alright, chapter 74 ended with Amado. He was being interrogated by Shikamaru Naruto. Chapter 75 picks up right from where that one left off, right? Now, as we see, Amado basically breaks down and explains Ida and Damon's abilities for like the bazillionth time. I feel like when you have a YouTube channel and you just talk about this, you say these abilities 1,000 times, but whatever. Chapter 75's title page features Damon. He's wearing his winter gear, like the blue hoodie or whatever and everything. And as well as this full color depiction, I'm pretty sure this is actually the official color palette of Damon's character and everything. So this is what he should look like when he gets animated and all that. This is the color palette they're going for. And it actually looks really cool because, again, even Damon's outfit and his attire shows that they're tied to some celestial category or whatever, because he even has the planet on the back of his hoodie. So it's just, everything is just really cool this chapter, bro. Like they don't miss in this chapter, bro. Chapter 75 buckets, bro. Now Amado spends like the first 3 chapters of this first 3 pages of this chapter explaining to everybody, Ida and Damon's abilities. Now that's thanks to like the Yamanaka clan's mind telepathy jutsu or the mind link jutsu. So like when I say he's talking to everybody, like this interrogation is being broadcast to like everybody important to the story right now. Like anybody who matters, anybody who needs to know this intel on Amado is linked to this interrogation. Now Amado further fleshes out Damon's abilities. He goes and clarifies exactly how and when Damon can actually reflect your attacks on like pages 3, 4, whatever. So like literally in like the first 3 pages, he's just going over these abilities. Now he says Damon can reflect all attacks, right? Though it was necessary for his hands to be touching another person, as well as he can actually. Alright, so here's what he says, because let me just quote him. He says, be careful not to aim murderous intent toward him, because that too will be reflected. So like not only can he reflect attacks if he's holding on to someone, but if you actually imagine attacking him, that'll also be reflected. Like if your murderous intent is aimed at him, he will reflect those intentions. Kawaki even confirms this by imagining quote-unquote clobbering Damon, as Boruto put it, and Damon's reflecting ability activated, okay? So like literally, like shit gets super real after this. Like literally the first 3 pages are like, let's go over the abilities one more time. We even showed you a demonstration of how it works. Then shit gets real, okay? So Naruto asks Amado, how did you develop so many unbelievable abilities, right? Now Amado points out that saying develop, that's not really the right way to think about it. Like Amado points out that he didn't develop these abilities, right? It'd be more accurate to say that he transplanted these things that had already existed into the cyborgs that he used for Kara, right? Like these things had existed prior, he just took them and transplanted them into other people. Similar to like how Kakashi had the Sharingan transplanted into him and it just made him super OP. Like all that happened was he took some stuff, transplant. I can't stress that enough because I called it, bro. I called it. Now, keep in mind, right? Because when he says that, right? Transplanted these things, right? Amado goes on to explain that Ida and Damon's abilities were originally brought about by someone who actually evolved into a godlike being, right? a new Otsutsuki, right? Now, Otsutsuki Shibai, or Shibai, I'm gonna call him Shibai, alright? Otsutsuki Shibai is basically the Otsutsuki god that was foreshadowed by Ishiki in that whole message to Code, right? In the Otsutsuki will. Like, he said, follow the Otsutsuki will and you'll become a peerless being, a god, right? You'll transcend. Otsutsuki Shibai is basically the example that Ishiki was trying to live by. Now, that's crazy enough, but we need to keep in mind everything at this point that Amado is saying is being broadcast to like everybody via the mind telepathy jutsu, okay? Shikamaru, wasting no time, is like, okay, so where is this new Otsutsuki god then? Because he's obviously the next big threat. Amado assures them, like, look, Otsutsuki Shibai is no longer with us. He's no longer on this world. Like, all that exists of Otsutsuki Shibai is his remains. Like, literally all we have is his corpse. Now, Otsutsuki Shibai is stated to have repeatedly undergone the karma resurrection process. He devoured many chakra fruits over several millennia, and he eventually evolved enough times to the point where his final evolution led him to a godhood-like state. Now, Ida and Damon's cheat-like powers, in the terms of Naruto, were originally possessed by Otsutsuki Shibai. So the Senreigan, the knowledge of everything everywhere, was something Otsutsuki Shibai possessed. The Senreigan was his, okay? Now, Damon's reflection powers was something he also possessed. Now, literally, I called this shit, bro. Boruto chapter 69 prediction video, Otsutsuki experimentation, my dude. I talked about it all. Everyone was like, AMADOS and Otsutsuki, or Damon and Ida are Otsutsuki, right? And I was like, nah, bro, like, you gotta combine the scientific shit with the Otsutsuki shit, and that's exactly what happened. Now, look, okay, Otsutsuki Shibai basically evolved into a god, because I'm getting excited, bro. My prediction came true, and it's just fun doing this YouTube shit. Now, Shibai Otsutsuki and his various abilities were so incredible. It's said that without even needing to weave signs, as like with ninjutsu, he could generate storms with just a wave of his hand, right? So he could just like lift his arms and create storms, and by simply raising his voice or unleashing an angry roar, he could call forth thunderbolts. My dude was literally just like when I say godlike, they're not joking. Like waving your hands and then changing the weather, opening your mouth and calling upon a thunderbolt, bro. Like, these godlike abilities were given the name Shinjutsu. So stuff like this is classified as Shinjutsu now. Like, we have like all this crazy stuff that we might have to reclassify in the lore. We don't know if it's confirmed or anything, but literally Shinjutsu is literally completely different from ninjutsu. It's nothing like sage arts. It's not senjutsu. It's nothing. Shinjutsu is said to be considered equivalent to divine miracles, bro. Like, literally, this is like changing reality for like, because you're God. Like, divine miracles, my dude. Like, that's what Shinjutsu is. Now, some examples of Shinjutsu are given to us by Amado in the form of like Ida and Damon's abilities, right? We know the Senreigan and the reflection power and everything. This was a Shinjutsu that they got via the transplant from Otsutsuki Shibai, right? Now, Code's claw marks are also considered Shinjutsu. Ishiki's abilities, Sukuna Hakona, the Daikokuten, right? Those are also considered Shinjutsu. And then the Karma Seal is considered the immortality art of Shinjutsu, right? Now, in fact, like Amado goes on to say, like, ninjutsu itself is just an attempt to reproduce the phenomenon that occur and try to do something similar to Shinjutsu, right? By concentrating your chakra, weaving your hand signs and all that. But here's where everything starts to change, because Shikamaru starts asking very important questions. Why is this dude dead, right? Well, why is Shibai Otsutsuki's corpse like why is he a corpse right now? Like, why is he dead? Like, did someone kill him? Is that the guy you want us to go fight? Is there a guy who killed this god that we have to worry about now? Like, and then Amado theorizes that perhaps he was killed, or perhaps after many cycles of evolution, he just ascended into a higher dimension where his physical body isn't even required anymore, right? Because he literally ascended into godhood. Like, he discarded his body, making him truly godlike. Now, Shikamaru like also says like this could be crazy talk and everything, but in the likelihood that you are trying to aspire to be a god, it's not off the table. So like it could be very well true. Now, of course, later in the chapter it gets even confirmed further, but shit gets even wilder, okay? Because now that we have like Shinjutsu, we have these divine miracles that can be unleashed. We have a classification of like literally godly acts, right? Shinjutsu. We have the Otsutsuki god, like he's been confirmed, right? Now, I'm not saying anything about chicken wings or anything. I'm just saying I talked about the whole Jogan thing, and this was perfect opportunity, but I didn't see nothing. Hit me in the comments with that one. But the confirmation of my Boruto chapter 69 prediction video, bro, Otsutsuki experimentation and everything, I even called it, bro. I said Amado had to have experimented on some Otsutsuki's to pass these powers down. There's no way he just created this shit from scratch, bro. Now, I wasn't hyped enough about all that, but what really got me was the fact that like Boruto chapter 75, on top of giving us all this information so far, even unveiled AMADOS master plan. Now you could speculate that he's still holding stuff out and this isn't really the totality of his plan and everything, but AMADOS' grand plan is to basically steal the Shinjutsu immortality art. He wants to use the karma seal for himself, but he wants to use it to bring back his dead daughter, right? The dead daughter that died like 12 years ago, right? He wants to bring her back to life. Now, it's then revealed to us that Amado's dead daughter is Akabe Sanzu, right? And she basically died from the Itachi disease or whatever. She died from some uncurable disease. Nothing Amado or any other doctors could do could save her. Amado basically abandoned looking for a cure. He was like, bro, if it's uncurable, then we're not going to look for your cure. Instead, he began cloning new bodies for her. He basically was like, I'll just make a new healthy body for you, a new shell, and I'll transplant Akabe into it. Now, Amado is insane, bro. Like, when they say mad scientist, like, I think he is on a whole new level, because Amado preserved Akabe's brain, and then he succeeded in, like, extracting, digitizing, and then creating backups of her memories. And after completing all of it, right, after he finally completed the clone, it had Akabe's voice, it looked exactly like her, it had her complete memories, but she was a total stranger. It wasn't his daughter, right? Like, he would create this thing that looked like his daughter, sounded like his daughter, remembered shit his daughter remembered perfectly, had perfect memory, but then had a completely different personality. Like, he couldn't capture her soul, right? She was a total stranger. Now, after remaking her multiple times, right, with each new clone having its own new personality, it remained impossible for Amado to reproduce someone who had existed before. When Amado realized this, right, this is when he realized he had entered the domain of the gods, right? Because he had accepted that, like, it's impossible, right? Like, it's impossible for me to recreate this. This is something only the gods could do. Like, there's a limit to what us humans can do. Like, I've literally replicated you perfectly, but I can't recreate you, the one who was once before. Like, all the personalities are new. You could not replicate any old personalities. Now, as soon as he accepts his daughter's fate, right? It's not until he accepts his daughter's fate that he's approached by Amado. Now, I don't know if Amado's just got, like, plot convenience or whatever, or, like, you know, he just was watching the whole time, but it was perfect, right? Now, desperate to reunite with his daughter, right? Amado basically agrees to work for Jigen and support Kara under the notion that Jigen is going to use Shinjutsu to revive Akabe, right? In exchange for Amado's service, of course. However, once Amado learns that the creation of the chakra fruit actually requires, like, all life on the planet to be devoured by the divine tree, right? The Shinju tree, Shinjutsu. Oh my god, it makes so much sense. Now that he realizes that all the planet's chakra and all the life on the planet has to be devoured by the god tree, he basically made it his plan to take out Ishiki, alright? Now, Amado points out that what Ishiki was trying to do, right? Because, like, he never gave up on his daughter, even while working with Ishiki. Even while planning against Ishiki, that wasn't him, like, giving up on his daughter. Amado points out that what Ishiki was trying to do with, like, gathering all these vessels so that he could finesse the karma seal, and what Amado was attempting to do with reproducing Akabe via all this cloning, they were almost identical, right? Amado's failed attempts at reproducing personality is something that had crossed into the domain of the gods, right? It was something impossible. It was something that required the miracle power, right? Something only possible with Shinjutsu. So AMADOS' plan is to basically use the karma seal, right? The immortality art of karma. AMADOS adding, okay, we gotta slow down because there's so much in this chapter. This shit is so good. Please leave a like and comment and all that shit, because this shit is a hard video, dude. We're gonna be talking forever. Okay, now AMADO has added Akabe's data into Kawaki's reconstructed karma, and AMADO's master plan is basically to have Kawaki install a karma seal that's fitted with Akabe's data into like a clone vessel that gets prepared by Amado. Okay, now this sounds all nice and stuff. He's just trying to save his daughter, and he's been fighting against the Otsutsuki in order to achieve the impossible and everything, because he even says, what, like, my point is that the Otsutsuki powers contain hope, right? Like, literally, they can achieve the impossible. They have Shinjutsu. They eat the fruit of the Shinju tree. I can't believe I never made that connection. That's crazy. Now, all right, this is where we have to stop, though, because there's some red flags and stuff here. All right, this is where we got to stop. Shikamaru very wisely asks Ida to confirm Amado's whole story, right? He wants to verify the truth, so he asks her to use the Senrigan to check into his past and make sure everything checks out. We're already utilizing Shinjutsu in Konoha. Now, during that time, right, while she's checking in the past and everything, Boruto, who's been there listening to this whole thing, right, he's been a part of the whole conversation, right, he's listening to everything, right? He starts to hear Momoshiki's voice, like, echoing throughout his head, bro. Like, literally, like, he can hear Momoshiki. Momoshiki's like, bro, if you can hear me, react. Like, can you hear me? Testing. Mic 1, mic 2. Like literally, Momoshiki was just like, hello, hello, hello. Now, Momoshiki speculates that the fact that their thoughts are overlapping like this is due to the supplementing of Boruto's damaged flesh with the data from the karma, right? So since Momoshiki converted the karma into Boruto's flesh and everything, that there might be new abilities and new advantages that they're going to discover and everything. And this overlapping of their thoughts might be something that we should consider as a new ability. Now, Momoshiki confirms with Boruto that everything that Amado said about Shibai Otsutsuki was completely true. Like, everything that he said, including his ascension into godhood and everything. Like, he truly did ascend into a higher dimension, right? All that's true. Confirmed by Momoshiki. But he also says that he also knows Amado's lying about something. Now, this is crazy, because while it remains true, Ida's Senrigan is in fact Shinjutsu, right? Momoshiki says that Ida's love ability, her charm, her enchantment, the Simp no Jutsu, that's not something that could be considered Shinjutsu. It's not, right? He says it cannot be Shinjutsu. Now, this is insane, because Momoshiki also says that, look, I've lived for many millennia, right? And he has an intimate understanding of all things Shinjutsu. He literally says, I know all Shinjutsu. So when he says I know all Shinjutsu, and that right there is not, right? That's the crazy thing, because, like, for one, if you highball that statement, that means Boruto's gonna have access to all of the Shinjutsu. But it wasn't crazy enough, right? Shit doesn't end there, okay? Momoshiki points out the possibility that Amado is lying, because while her Senrigan is Shinjutsu, the Simp no Jutsu is not, right? And they speculate it's probably scientific ninja tools, but then why would he hide that fact? Like, what's the point of not telling us that, right? Ida then confirms that Akabe Sanzu did not, or she did exist, and she died from illness, right? But then something happens to Boruto, because he's still connected with Momoshiki. Like, he's like wondering how long him and Momoshiki's mind are going to be linked like this. And this is when Boruto's Byakugan activates, and we get this quick shot of the Hokage monument. We check in with this squad of Jonin, and they appear to be like searching for someone. We see the Gen Z, Shikacho show up. Shigadai looks ready to fight. Sarada's on the move. She's shouting Mitsuki found him, right? We see Mitsuki in his Sage mode, bro. He's in full form Sage mode. He's in stage 2. And he finally, we see Kawaki. And this whole thing is framed in a way to make it look like everyone is on the hunt for Kawaki. So literally the Jonin are searching for people. Shikacho are pissed off and ready in combat or whatever. Sarada says Mitsuki found him. Mitsuki's in Sage mode, and then Kawaki's over here looking down on everything. So, like, right now, the future is looking crazy, because Boruto's Byakugan fades away, and so does Momoshiki's presence, so does their connection with their thoughts and everything. And we see that Boruto is still chilling with Kawaki, he's still chilling with Ida, they're still talking in this interrogation with everything, and we're led to believe that Boruto just saw a glimpse of the future, and it appears that everyone is going to be hunting Kawaki, and the situation becomes so crazy that Mitsuki is forced to enter his Snake Sage mode, bro. So Boruto chapter 75, the domain of the gods, had some game-changing moments, bro, because for one, we got another, I guess, like prophecy or premonition. We've seen a vision of the future, bro. Like, everything is crazy right now. So we got a lot of game-changing moments, and we can't really look at anything the way we used to anymore, bro. Like, we're gonna have to actually think about reclassifying certain shit in the lore and everything, because Shinjutsu is just broken, bro. I got so many questions, predictions out the freaking back, bro. Alright. I've now that I'm after breaking down the whole chapter, like, what are you guys thinking? How do you guys feel, right? Boruto chapter 75, AMADOS master plan is revealed. We got the new Otsutsuki god, he's confirmed. Where was the Jogon? Shibai, Otsutsuki. Neither ninjutsu or sage arts, bro. We got Shinjutsu, the equivalent to a divine miracle, bro. Otsutsuki experimentation, I called that shit. And we got these violent visions of the future, while Boruto and Momoshiki's thoughts might continue to overlap. So shit is wild as fuck right now, bro. And it's been a long ass video, so let me know what you guys are thinking about chapter 75, the future of Boruto, everything that's happening. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do it for your boy, the Grass Ninja. Peace.